You can't tell yourself, I'm going to be broke forever, because you're going to be broke forever. You need to speak into existence what you really want and push.
All right. All right. What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned into another episode of Everyday Heroes, and we got real name Wynton, JB Written, Aunt of Dragons, Jazz, the Queen Lioness, and we have Nikki from Clark's Mission on the show. First off, before we get to everything, let's go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe on the show. This is Everyday Heroes. Google us, Spotify, all that stuff. We're in the mix. Don't forget to go on our Facebook page, like our Facebook page as well. We have a lot coming to you. Interviews, although it's the holiday season, we still got content. All right. So before we get into our topic, let's go ahead and get into our weeks. JB, how was your week?
Hey man, I'm out here getting it, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Thug life over here. Nah, just playing. I'm doing good, y'all. How y'all doing?
Doing all right, doing all right, all right. So,
Long hair don't get, you know what I'm saying?
Jazz, how was your week? How you been?
Just call me the comeback kid. That's how I'm feeling this week. Definitely getting back into the flow of things. Sometimes, you slow down, but you pick back up. So I'm feeling good.
All right. And Aunt of Dragons, how was your week?
I haven't murdered anyone this week, so I think I did pretty good. I did pretty good.
All right, I think that's good. Not killing someone is actually a very good thing to do. So,
Yeah, 'cause
and I
jail
think
suck.
we're all here for the same reason as well. So, me, I just been chilling, doing my thing, working a lot. Got some interesting projects coming to you guys. So, definitely be on the lookout. Clark's Mission, Nikki, how are you doing? How was your week?
I'm doing great. Honestly, I'm just getting back into the groove, just trying to get through the Monday, get back to the week. Got a lot of things scheduled this week. So getting the book finished this week as well. So be on the lookout for my first book about to drop.
That's
All
what's
right,
up.
all right. So you got a book coming out. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about, you. Let's talk about you. What is Clark's Mission? What is it about? How'd you come about with that book? And then we'll get into the roundtable questions.
Well, Clark's Mission began January 7th, 2020. I got this epiphany moment. I was speaking with my mom, and I said, my mission in life is to have my dad's name live on. And right when I said that, we looked at each other, our eyes connected, and we were like, Clark's Mission. And we didn't know, obviously, what we were going to do with that, but I knew I needed to run with it. So really, I just started speaking with entrepreneurs. I've spoken to hundreds of entrepreneurs from that time to now. It was really created at the beginning to inspire entrepreneurs. I really just wanted to help them with their organization, and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And come to find out, that's what I'm doing now. I'm helping entrepreneurs mentally organize their brands and understand that they can do it. So I am that little push weekly, speaking with my clients, understanding that, you are here for a reason. And it's not just a reason for you to work your 9 to 5. If you want to and you love your job, all power to you. But if you feel that inside and you're like, there's more than just that, I'm here to help. And that's where that kind of began within the Clark's mission. But aside from that, within my book, I've been writing this book for 2 years now. Little backstory within my dad and why that book came about. I was shopping for his last birthday. I didn't know at the time that would be his last birthday. So that was November 2018. He was turning 66 years old. And I'm going through the book aisle and I see this book, bright orange book, and it says God is always hiring. And when I saw that, my body was like, you got to grab it. So started reading it. I started crying. Just tears were flowing. I didn't understand why, why this book. And when I got through the first couple chapters, I knew that it was something inside of me that I needed to tell my story. And I needed to help others with what I went through, especially with grieving and having a child at the same time. I'm getting like, whoo. Speaking about my dad is still hard. It's not a process that I don't think I'll ever get over. But that book has so many lessons. I've worked all over this country. I started working since I was 14 years old. Yeah, it's just a process of what I've been through and how I can help others with what I've been through.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get into some questions. Jazz, what kind of questions do you have for Clark's mission?
Okay, so I just want to commend you, first of all, for turning something that most people are grieving over and making it into a whole positive and a whole mission. That is definitely dope. My question to you is, what has been the toughest thing that you've come by this year with speaking with different entrepreneurs, and how do you overcome that?
I would say those who don't understand their worth. I think that's where that negative energy, there's a lot of spoken word artists that I speak to as well who, spit fire to where it goes deep into your soul. And I think that negative energy was my biggest obstacle, because there's people like, oh, I can't do that. No, I'm not that type of person. I can't go live. And it takes a while, but I think with my weekly sessions, they're working, they're understanding that there is value to them. And I think that's my biggest obstacle within anyone I speak to, is that negativity.
Okay. I definitely understand that. I believe with being a business owner, you definitely you have your up and downs, but unfortunately, when you're running that business, you have to keep going. So what I want to ask you is, what are your goals for 2021? And how do you plan on accomplishing them?
2021, I see my first 100K. I have a lot under, I have a lot kind of hidden within that. But other than my book, I have a course coming out. That's a little secret for y'all. There's a course that goes with my book. So I'm seeing my first 100K in 2021, my first million by 2022.
Let me tell you, I just got chills. So that's like a confirmation to me. So I definitely support that, and aim big. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what you're doing. That's definitely awesome.
Thank you.
So another question is, do you feel like you have the support that's needed with being your own entrepreneur?
I do. With my mom, she kind of goes back and forth because she has her days of grieving my dad. I cut off all my family, honestly. I'm going to be truthful with y'all. That's my countryside coming out. My Virginia side.
You're talking to a Bama girl, so it's good.
It definitely, it takes strength and courage for what I really did. Honestly, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I cut off most of my family. No one understood what I was doing. No one understood that I wanted my dad's name to live on to this magnitude. No one's going to understand when I'm around the world either, because they'll still be here and doing the same thing they're doing. And I think my support comes from looking at my son's eyes that looks like my dad's.
Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you.
All right. So I'll go ahead and get a few questions in. So you wrote a book, right? Are you done writing it, or?
It's done. It's just through, its last run through, sending it to Library of Congress, self-publishing, editing while I'm waiting on approval, and then it's ready.
Okay, so I asked this. What was your writing process like when you started writing the book? What was it like, from A to Z? What went through your head every time you started a new chapter?
Pain. I wanted a lot of my real raw emotions. Another little insider, I have diary thought in there of my diary thought now, not diary thought of when that was happening in my life. So if I'm spitting quotes now, when people see this book, they'll understand my true emotions of each part of my life. And when I first started it, it was all in one paragraph. It did not go into chapters until I started to see the chapters. So having it all chronological order just on one paragraph is how it began. So I just was asking my mom, events in my early years and then going into, what I knew. And once it started to build, then I saw where I could break the chapters up and say, okay, this is chapter 1 and the lessons with that, 2, and so on. And then now we're on that final draft of putting all those separate chapters into one.
All right. And I've been following you for a while on IG and everything, and I've seen your growth in it and everything. What are your success habits as far as your growth and everything? Like, what are your habits to be successful in this?
That's a good question. I would say consistency. I mean, I do this every single day, even with a 2-year-old. I mean, I don't stop. I take off on Sundays, but I'm still, on my phone a little bit here and there. It's the drive. I mean, there's so much passion behind what I do. It's like I'm letting my dad down if I don't. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really have businesses like this. And that's where it kind of goes over here, where I'm helping people mentally organize their brands and I'm building mine at the same time.
All right. Okay, so last question for me on this is I'm interested in writing a book, right? I pretty much have one already written. Like, what's your best advice that you would give for a writer or somebody starting a book?
I would say it's a team effort. I mean, you don't obviously share your book with the team, but you have to talk with like-minded people who have either published books or want to, and kind of get in the mix. I think you have to understand that you have a book inside of you. Each and every one of you have a book inside of you. And I think that it's just having that courage to explain it and get that team built up.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, Art of Dragons.
Hey Nikki, nice to meet you.
Hi.
But in all seriousness, just a little bit of context. I don't remember how Nikki and I met, but
Instagram world.
Yeah, right. But like now it's turned into just talking to each other daily-ish and just lifting each other up. And I just want to say that thank you. And also I'm just so freaking proud of you. I'm so proud of honestly, like, check out her page on Instagram, Clark's Mission. Obviously it's Clark's Mission everywhere, yeah. But the community that she's built of all of these like-minded people who are genuinely kind, who don't want anything. They don't want anything. They don't ask for much. Just a little likey, a little comment, and just a little, I hope you're having a good day. Yeah. And I think that's so freaking cool that you've done that in less than a year. And I think that you're a very great leader.
Thank you.
What do you think are the traits of a great leader?
First, courage. I think you have to have, I'm a Leo, so I was a born leader. I've been playing sports since 3.5. So when I started playing golf at 3.5, I was telling other kids, how to play. And I just started. So for me, my dad was that leader that I saw. So having courage within yourself, but also that support system, someone that is a leader, you're watching a leader. He built both of the homes I grew up in. So he's a master carpenter. Having a leader like that, I mirrored him. He had strength, he had courage, he had such a spirit. You have to have a heart. You have to understand that it's not all about you. If we don't get that through our heads right now, it is not all about you. You have to be selfless. You have to help the next person. And I think, being selfless, that's why I win. You know what I mean? That's why I'm winning, because I'm doing all this from my heart. This is who I am. I don't fake this. I don't text you and be like, have a good day. I hope you're feeling better. Whatever. Anything I say, that's not because I'm wanting you to be my friend. You know what I mean? I don't, not that I don't need you as a friend. It's like, I don't need to do that to just be me. Like, people do that in a fake way. And I think you have to be selfless and understand that money is not everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to make money regardless because I have the mentality that I'm going to, and I put in the work to do so. You have to put in that work.
What's a fun fact about you that like no one will know? Like, are you like left-handed, or like have you never eaten a pickle before in your life?
It's not a fun fact. It's kind of an anxiety fact. I have sweaty hands.
Really?
Like, I hate it so much. Yes. When I was playing golf growing up, I had to wear 2 golf gloves because my hands would just sweat so much with competition anxiety.
That's
So nobody
okay.
knows that.
I don't think I've ever, no, I guess maybe I've met someone with sweaty hands, but I never noticed it. But now I'm like super self-conscious about my hands. I'm like, yo,
I hate it. It's
have
just
I
like,
shaken
ugh.
someone's hands and they're like, ew, her hands are gross.
I couldn't hold anyone's hand. Like boyfriends, I'd be like, no, you're not gonna hold it.
That's not me think about that. Okay, last question, and then I'm gonna pass the mic to JB. What's your best memory with your dad?
Thank you. My dad was my daddy the caddy. I keep referring golf because he keeps telling me to, because I should have been in the LPGA. He was right there all the time.
Yeah.
But daddy the caddy. That was my greatest memories.
Thank you, Nikki.
All right, cool. So I want to go ahead and just ask you his questions that I got here. So the first thing, if you could start this journey all over again, what would you do differently?
I would have more patience and strength within myself, because I think there's a lot of times I broke down and I was like, throw the papers in the air, like I'm over it. And I've had papers all over my room, all over my walls. Like, this process was insane. So I think having more respect for myself too, understanding that timing is everything and you have to be patient. So having more patience.
And I think that's something that you teach to your clients, that's, so you have to go through those things to be able to red flag it, like, hey,
right.
I've been there before. You're doing a great job.
Right. And I had to go through it.
Right.
I really had to. I had to go through all those motions to be like, okay, now, this is what you're doing. Now you can help somebody. And that's a perfect example, is like, I went through it and I had to, my whole life. I feel like you'll see with the book, you'll kind of see where the beginning is rainbows and shiny, and my parents built a home for us. I lived on a sailboat growing up, like when they were building our first home. So it's a different life, and I went through a lot mentally since I was 4. Honestly, I've dealt with anxiety since I was 4. So it's been a process.
All right. So the second question we have here is what qualities do you look for in people that you work with?
I would say within who I work with is new and existing entrepreneurs, but mainly new entrepreneurs, because those are the ones that I see like me. They're freaking out. They're like, oh, I give up. I can't do this anymore. Blah, 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 all the negatives, And I think I'm seeking the ones that don't have a following, because I want to help them understand that I can help you with networking. and understanding that you can go in the DMs, understanding you can do the voice messages, understanding you can talk to people. And it starts with doing these. This is how I really started getting out there, was because I didn't have a platform. I just started it 3 weeks ago. I just started my live series 3 weeks ago. So it's really about putting
And it's
yourself
doing
out
good
there.
too.
Thank you. Yeah, you don't expect that. You just do it and go. So, I mean, it's a blessing to do what I do.
All right. And the last question that you had down here was, if you can describe your book in 3 words, what would you describe it as?
Whew. Strength, powerful, kind of the same. There's so much strength in there, like the power behind my message. And really, I would say love. There's so much love in there.
That's amazing. That's definitely amazing. All right, so we've got everybody's questions out of the way. So this one discussion, open floor. Anybody's got any remaining questions or any comments?
And don't forget educational.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking on her book.
Yeah, it's so many things. That's why I'm like, phew, I don't even know 3 on top, because the strength behind me with my strength, the power within that message of education to help others understand my story. And it's not like, a parent telling you don't do this. Like, look, I went through it. Like, you need to see, like, the beginning of my life was this, but then after 12 years old, when my parents split up, yeah, it got crazy all over the place. Not within them, but within my life and my mental stability. So it's a beautiful process because I'm here now. And the way that I can serve the Lord and be so open with people, and understanding, like, my faith was not always here. Your faith doesn't, show up until it has to show up sometimes. You might grow up in that, and which I did, but I went down my own path like we all do. And then I came back and was like, whoa, my dad went into a coma, my car blew up, and he came, out of the coma. I got a brand new car because I was working at a dealership. Faith shifted.
Do you think writing the book has helped with your healing process?
Extremely. I suggest everyone who is either dealing with a sudden death, a long-term death where you're, going through the process and that the time could be any time, you must write out your emotions. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be a daily journal. I want people to understand that, it's hard talking about him. It's still hard talking about him. It's 1.5 years now that he's been gone. But it's so powerful. And the way that, like I said, the way that I serve, I'm here to help. Like Ashley's saying, like, I appreciate that with the motivation, that I give, and just freely. It just comes off the top. Like, anytime I see any negativity on anyone's posts, I comment. Because my whole being would be like, why didn't you respond to that? And that's my selflessness just being poured out everywhere that I go, that I'm here to impact the world. Like, y'all will be with me. Trust and believe.
Love it,
All
love
right.
it, love it.
I noticed that you use a lot of scriptures and stuff from the Bible. So I really wouldn't be a pastor's son if I asked, what is your favorite scripture in the Bible?
I would say Matthew 7:7-8. Within
That's a
ask
good
and you
one.
shall receive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's actually on my vision board too. It definitely had power within it when I first had seen it. That's a funny story. I was actually just going into my little pocket one and I was just reading, and I kept getting pulled back to that page. And I was like, why this page? Like, what, what's going on? Why this page? Every time I'm opening it, it's pulling me back to that page. And I think that spoke volumes to me. And I think that a lot of people with manifestation, I think it has power. You can't tell yourself, I'm going to be broke forever, because you're going to be broke forever. You need to speak into existence what you really want and push.
All right. So what's that scripture again, just so everybody can get it?
Ask and you shall receive. And then it's seek and you shall find. It's a couple different ways though.
Mm-hmm. But it's what, Matthew what?
7 through 8. I've read it so many different ways. I'm like, hold on. Ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. It's different like verbiage, but that's kind of the gist.
Okay. All right, cool. Any other comments or questions from anyone?
Is it going to be on a paperback and on ebook?
Good question. So what I'm doing is, this is another secret. I'm doing 100 pre-order books. And what I'm doing with those is I'm personally signing those. I'm going to have a whole box package deal with that. And then pushing it out onto Kindle and, platforms. But I'm doing, whenever we can do a book tour, I really want to do a book tour because I've met people all around the world now. And I really want to travel, at least in the States, and do a hardcover kind of book signing.
Where are you located?
I'm on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. So I'm right outside of Ocean City.
Florida's the first stop then.
I do. I will come down there. I really do.
Right.
I'll be there again.
It's sunny over here.
It is. And Mama doesn't like the heat, so I might have to come down there soon.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Obviously, I worked in the snow a lot.
Any other questions or anything from anyone? No? All right, so thank you for joining the show. Definitely appreciate you. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the show. This is Everyday Heroz. We did an interview with Clark's Mission, so definitely go ahead and follow her on IG, all the platforms. She's in the mix. She's got a book coming out, so definitely go ahead and cop that book and like and subscribe to her social media platform. So from Real Name Wynton, JB Written, Jazz the Queen Lioness, Aunt of Dragons, and Clark's Mission. This is Everyday Heroz signing out.